Hello and welcome. Today we have a very special interview with none other than our friends over at Link Logistics. Today we are joined by Clark Ardern, the CTO, and Sonia Huffman, the CAO. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thanks
Hello.
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So I am excited for today because we kind of get into this new solution that Link is coming out with, and I'm excited for it because it seems like it's actually really going to help out some stuff. So I've noticed that this year has been 5 years since Link Logistics was founded, and during that short time, the team has built a casual 500 million square foot portfolio. Serving almost 10,000 customers, a real humble flex, if you will. Um, Hey, can you guys tell me a little bit about Link Logistics' approach over the last 5 years? Clark, why don't you start us off?
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, we've grown very quickly with the help from obviously Blackstone's investment portfolio and capital, helping us along the way. What's interesting about this endeavor has been it was literally from 0 to 500 million square feet over that period of time, which also means we were able to build the company from the ground up, hire the executive team, hire the management team, hire the property management team, and also set the culture and the strategy the way we wanted to do it, the way we believed is the right way to run a digitally native real estate company in the 21st century. So it's been a very unique and rewarding and challenging experience.
I absolutely love it. Sonia, is there anything extra that you would like to add to kind of the accolades Clark's already thrown out?
Sure. So I think one of the unique aspects about what we've done here at Link is we've had the opportunity to bring together a bunch of experienced, seasoned real estate operators who came to Link with the idea that we were going to do something different and innovative and approach real estate differently, and with a key focus on relationships, which I think is the driving force behind our entire business, whether those relationships are customer relationships, broker relationships, whatever the stakeholder is. We really brought together a lot of like minded individuals with that goal in mind, but coming with a very diverse background. And that's really helped us to build the culture in the organization that I think is reflected in the technology that we've built for our customers that we're going to talk about today.
I think that that's something that is very underutilized in the kind of in the logistics space or the supply chain space in general is that it really does come down to those relationships and kind of the effort that you put in is that effort that you're going to get back and kind of that reward you're going to get back out of it. But speaking of that new effort that you put in, Link Plus is this new solution that you guys have announced. Sonia, do you mind breaking it down a little bit and telling us kind of what it is and what the major problems that it solves for the customers?
Sure. So Link Plus is really designed to enable our customers to focus on running their business. I think in industrial real estate over the past 3 to 5 years, specifically impacted by what the rest of the country went through post sort of COVID, there's a need for self service and there's a need for transparency to build trust and relationships across the industry. Historically, I think industrial real estate was probably seen as a little bit sleepier, where the customers may or may not want to even engage with the landlord. But what we really invested in the first couple of years of Link's existence was getting to know our customers, not just meeting them in their building, but talking to them about their needs, talking to them about how we can help them grow their businesses. And what we found consistently across the board was our customers were looking for us to be easier to work with, looking for more transparency to sort of get away from those fearful topics that people don't like to talk about, like expenses and CAM reconciliations and the nitty gritty of running a business, as well as to provide opportunities for customers to do things on their own time, which is, as we all know, in our day to day, we do most of our work after 5 o'clock, especially for those smaller operators. And a good portion of our customers are small operators who really they are everything. They're the owner, they're the day-to-day operator, they're the person who pays the bills and engages vendors. So they need to be able to do those things in off hours. So Link Plus was really designed to provide an easy opportunity for our customers to engage with our landlord, get services delivered to their property, and do that on their own time and at their own in their own schedule.
Clark, how is this solution, Link Plus, different from some of the solutions or the processes that some of your competitors have?
We thought first and foremost about making the experience with Link frictionless when it comes to just consuming our product and our real estate on the ground. So it isn't about adding additional services or products to offer them, but more about, as Sonia referenced, enable them to just simply pay their bill or their rent, enable them to look up their lease, enable them to do it when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And so we set out to build a very simple, easy to use web and mobile application as the initial contact vehicle for them. But if that doesn't work for them, they can always call us. They can still email us. We just wanted to open up multiple channels for them to be able to do business with us going forward. And then we've also developed it in a way that should their appetite grow for Link and an engagement style, the types of services that we offer them or information they need, we can extend the platform and be able to provide that to them through the same channel without them having to install another app or go to a different website. It'll all go through the same platform, regardless of what you need to do business with us or vice versa.
I like that you guys take that number one friction problem that I have when I try to, use something in my personal life is like if I'm just trying to pay you and get my money or give you my money or I'm just trying to get something done, you guys truly take that headache out of it because, if you have to call someone to pay a bill or call someone to get something done, that's not the end of the world, but if you have to do that all the time, then there's not usually time in the day to sit there and wait on hold and make those phone calls when if I could just, log into a portal and be done in 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, that's a lot easier than sitting there and making a point to schedule some time. So I remember to call them and then hoping that I get someone that can help me or that the right person's available. I absolutely love that you've kind of, like you said, made it frictionless and made it so much easier. Out of curiosity, how long does it take to get set up with Link? So if I'm sitting there and I want this solution and I go, yes, this is what I need, this is the answer to my problems, is it like a pretty relatively quick setup or is it like a 2 to 3, 6 month process?
Sonia, you want to take that one?
Um, Sure. One of the things that Clark and I talked about a lot when we were setting up this application was making sure that it was a one click process, right? So they receive an email from us immediately after executing a lease agreement, and they click it, they create their password, and they're set to go. They can change how often they get emails, they can change a lot of their preferences, but if you think about the most commonly asked question a new customer has when they are engaging with us, it's can I please get a copy of my full lease agreement and all the documentation? So when they log in for the first time, all of that's already in there. Their first invoices are already in there. Their ability to engage service at their property if their HVAC unit has broken down. So we wanted to make sure it was a one click entry, similar to what you and I experience when we log into any mobile application. We wanted to have look and feel. We strived to be as easy as Amazon. And I think we really did accomplish that for the customers so that they could just one click and they have everything that they need. And meeting them right when they engage with Link as a new customer, this gives them visibility to information that they otherwise would be waiting weeks for in a normal sort of real estate situation.
I just want to add on to that. So, in addition to that, it's something just a differentiator. I think a really cool point of how we've designed the application. We put the power of the user selection in the hands of the users. Meaning, not every customer has the same person who pays their rent who requests service on the HVAC. There's different personas within our customer base, and we basically through the application and self-service allowed them to set up multiple users depending on what their role is at their company and how they want to interact with Link. So it allows the security to be managed on the customer side, and they don't have to go through a process to ask or request access. They can just set that up directly on their own for one or many users on their side. And that's something that we built from the beginning because we had seen in other situations where customers were being put through extra hoops to add users, remove users. In this case, it's full self-service.
Part of the investment that we made in developing Link Plus was very, very hard for existing organizations to do. The amount of data that you have to have cleaned up and ready to be visible by your customer takes a ton of effort. It's probably the biggest hurdle most organizations have as they think about introducing a portal like this. We were previously using a customer portal. It had about I don't know, Clark, like 7 or 8% adoption. It was very low. And we're now at over 80% adoption across the country for this portal. But that couldn't be done if we didn't take that time to really clean up the information and the data infrastructure to support such a complicated tool. And the basic things like contacts took us months to figure out, making sure we had the right people that were receiving the invitations, the right people who would be engaging with the system, and then turning over the control of those contacts to the customer is a huge, people were fearful of making that shift. And so I think just investing in, and it was an opportunity that Link had because we were such a young organization and we could build things from scratch. We were able to do that data cleanup and then give complete transparency to the customers in a much shorter time frame. But it's definitely a very high hurdle for organizations that have been in place for longer to kind of get the data in a place where it can be utilized for a portal like this.
I really do like that you guys have really made it so easy, and it really sets that tone. When you have a new client or new customer, it sets the tone of like you do have this autonomy, you do have this kind of ability, and it just really kind of I think set like kind of gets everyone off on the right foot. But one of the things that I think this has really led to is that you guys really seem like Link is really invested in taking that feedback. And how do you guys begin to capture that customer feedback? And because like you said, the previous portal had maybe 7 to 8% adoption, and now you have this wonderful solution. How do you take that feedback and turn it into an actionable plan?
Well, the way we collect feedback is a number of ways. So first of all, like any technology, we understand where our customers are going on our site and our mobile app. What functions are they using? What functions are they not using? We also hit them with survey questions, thumbs up, thumbs down, 1 star to 5 stars, as they execute actions on the site itself. And that gives us real-time feedback in a qualitative way. And then finally, Sonia and our broader customer experience team on a regular basis reach out to our customers to ask how Link is doing as a provider of real estate to them. And that is integrated with Link Plus, so they can take that survey through Link Plus. But also when they respond to those surveys, we integrate that into our backend workflow and work management systems so that our property managers who represent these customers on the ground in these properties are able to see that feedback in real time and action it, because it ends up in their inbox as an alert and something to action and something to do. And we can follow that through to conclusion, as well as following up after all of that to make sure that they're happy. One final example is, which I think is really neat, is after somebody requests something on Link Plus, if their HVAC breaks or they need something painted or parking lot work, they request that all through the platform. We fulfill that service request. Hopefully we did that in a good, positive experience type of way. And so then Link Plus will then interrogate them and ask them, how was that service for that particular request? How did it go? And again, that just gets back incorporated into the data and the customer file and how their experience Link. And we want obviously both the positive and the negative experiences so that we know where to be better. And if they have a negative experience, we can reach out to them and find out what happened and why, and let them know that we will do better next time.
I think when we were thinking about building Link Plus, we had grown from something like 400 customers to 10,000 customers in a very short period of time. And it actually created a great opportunity for us. And at one level, even COVID created an opportunity for us because we were able to have one-on-one interactions with our customers, checking in with them on a regular basis. And it afforded a lot more conversation. At Link, each property manager has a conversation with every customer, all of them, at least once a year, not just saying like, hey, how's the building working for you, but like, how's your business? What more can we do for you? And that information filtered into the design of Link Plus initially. We also leveraged sort of customary real estate tools like the Kingsley survey, but we customized the questions in there, asking them like, what services would you want if you did have a customer portal? What are some of the things that are most challenging for you? And some of the responses were actually surprising. I think when we originally were designing Link Plus, we thought, oh, well, everybody will want service requests, like getting my roof fixed as number one. But actually, that wasn't true. The most requested item was access to their documentation. The second most requested item was access to pay bills online. And the third, which was really surprising to us, was help with their utility management, help with their energy expenses. And that's why one of the bolt-on items that we added to Link Plus right after we did the release was our energy solutions program. And that enables our customers to see their utility spend on a month-to-month basis, and then to connect with Link on different options to help to reduce those costs. So it was really a lot of listening rather than guessing on what the customers wanted from us. And I think that investment of time has really helped with the adoption of the system.
I think also that precedent that you guys set from the beginning of stepping off on the right foot and having this all at your fingertips. I think that that's really just the kind of the key cornerstone is that, you're not just there to listen and take advice and then say, okay, well, we'll do something with that, and then nothing ever manifests from it. It's you really do listen and then create an actionable plan and say, we're just giving you what we want. And I feel like that really has to kind of help build that trust and that help that relationship in the long run. I guess we're running out of time a little bit. But I think we have time for one more question. How does the increased transparency build the trust between landlords and your customers? Because obviously, Link Plus, you've really given that to them. So, have you noticed that there is an increased interest? Sonia, why don't you start us off?
Sure. It's a great question because I think really the foundation of Link is based upon, really prioritizing our customer relationships and building a platform on trust. And as a new company, that was again a high hill to climb. They didn't know who we were from a hole in the wall, so it's been a big investment. Link Plus has helped immensely. Most real estate companies really shy away from oversharing. I'll use as an example, but we've tried to provide all of the information that a customer would want to see. So whether it's their lease documentation, support for their CAM reconciliations with copies of utility, insurance, real estate invoices. And in the next couple of months, we're really trying to provide more transparency around requirements in the lease agreement, who's responsible for doing what, so that when a customer is like, oh, my HVAC is broken, is that Link's responsibility? Is that my responsibility? And then following up with them to say, if it is your responsibility, we can either help you or provide you with a trusted vendor. And the goal, obviously, across a board is that we're trying to reduce the cost to serve to our customers, right? So we're trying to do this in a way that we can free up our time of our property management and field teams to really focus on building relationships and understanding those opportunities we can have to improve the relationship and help our customers' businesses grow. So that's the investment we're making. It's to reduce the cost to serve and to focus on those relationships. And for the customer, this is providing them with the transparency that frankly they don't typically expect to get from the landlord. And I do see that's really enhancing our relationships, and it's giving our property managers the opportunities to really get to know each one of our customers a little bit more intimately.
I would just say that as Sonia had mentioned earlier, we spent a lot of time talking to our customers and what they wanted to see in a customer digital experience, a tenant portal. And hopefully, what they see now after talking to us and us listening to them is a product that's easy to use, meets their needs. We're open to expanding it when necessary to expand its needs or expand on their needs, and and that they're very happy and pleasantly engaging the experience every day. So yeah, just by putting a good product out there that's been well received, that earns trust and credibility that our customers can hopefully lean into for us in the future.
100%. You gotta you're putting your money where your mouth is. That's the right phrase. I think that just about brings us out of time today. Sonia, if people want to reach out to you after this, where can they find you outside the interview?
Well, they can connect with me on LinkedIn, and happy to talk to anyone who wants to understand the journey that we went through to, really set ourselves and our customers up for success with this digital platform.
And Clark, if people want to ask you some questions, where can they find you?
The same, reach out on LinkedIn. Be happy to engage in any and all conversations related to this and all things real estate technology.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.